the fateful day that it happened, that he came to Lakewood to pick me up. I remember having a really bad feeling. In the moment, it was like, are you kidding me? Just rise to the occasion. When I get married, I'll do the XYZ, I'll accomplish that, or I'll go for that career, or I'll start that organization, or it's going to make me emotional. Welcome to the Marriage Magnet podcast, where it's not just about attracting the one, it's about becoming the one. I'm your host, Nechama Phillips, and here we focus on growth, high standards, and creating an intentional life and love through self-development. Navigate your dating journey and beyond with clarity, confidence, joy, and ease, because marriage is not just a box you check off, it's your life. Subscribe or follow the show for bi-weekly episodes packed with value to help you have a better dating experience and marriage. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Marriage Magnet podcast. I'm your host, Nechama Phillips, and today's episode is a very personal and raw story. It's the story of how I almost got engaged. I was supposed to be proposed to, then got dumped. It's a story we'll get into, but a lot of you have been asking me about it, asking me to share more about it. I know a lot of you have been through broken engagements, or if it's been, I call this an almost engagement. And it is just I think I realized why I was pushing it off is just because it's hard to talk about, just because I have no patience to feel the emotions of it again and go back into the memories of it. I've processed a lot of it, and it's fine. Obviously, I'm really happy today, and I'm just thankful and grateful that the choices and other people's choices, everything just lined up perfectly for what was meant for me. It's just a hard thing to talk about. So I'm finally doing it today, and I'm kind of just going to share. I wrote a few notes for myself, but really just mostly going to share offhand what happened and share those details with you. And the purpose of doing this is so that if you have been through a broken engagement, or you are just struggling in your dating life, even if you haven't had something specifically similar to this happen to you, dating is just challenging and it's hard, especially in a very faith-based culture, regardless of whether you grew up, Jewish, Orthodox like me, if you grew up ultra-Orthodox, if you grew up Christian. Honestly, if you're a faith-based woman who is dating for marriage and you're taking that journey very seriously and you want it so badly, you want it with everything that you have, on the way towards it, there can be just a lot of challenges and setbacks and heartbreaks that you experience, and sometimes we just don't have the place to share it, to talk about it, to get support for it. And I want this story to really be a reminder to you that if you are going through something like this, first of all, to seek support. Second of all, lean on people around you, as you'll see in my story. And third of all, just know that the best thing for you is coming. And even if you feel like you failed, or someone else failed you, or you didn't get the opportunity that you were anticipating, or it didn't happen for you on the timeline that you wanted, anything that is going through your mind or heart at this time, at a really heartbreaking time, just know I want to be that reminder that good things are coming for you. You deserve happiness. You deserve the love that you've been wishing for. And sometimes it just comes at a different time in another form. And we have to go through certain things to make us, if it doesn't break us, it makes us, right? It makes us who we are and helps us become the person that we're meant to become for the right person to find us. So I feel like that is exactly what happened for me. And so looking back, I'm super grateful. But again, in it was just quite brutal. So let's get into it. Okay. So this was me dating at... Hey, quick interruption to let you know that the Marriage Magnet Method program is now enrolling. If you're a single woman who's dating for marriage, this space was created and designed perfectly for you to accelerate your dating journey, but not just for the results of marriage that we're hoping for, to have a better experience and a better you along the way towards your dreams. This 3-month program will help you become a magnet to attract the right guy for you, for the marriage that you deserve. Learn more about the program in the description and show notes below. This is the investment for ultimate marriage readiness and knowing you'll make a decision clearly, intentionally, and wholeheartedly to start your next chapter. Don't wait another minute. Doing this work now will not only create the capacity in yourself for a healthy, happy marriage, but will impact your children and generations to come. This is the best place for single women right now who are wanting more for themselves out of life and love. If you know that's you, book a free consultation call with me to apply, and I'm looking forward to meeting you. Okay, back to the episode. Well, I started dating when I was 19, right? A lot of us just grow up, we go to seminary, and I don't know if you're in other religions. I know people go on missions, people go, maybe you have a gap year, maybe you go to college, whatever it is. But when you grow up and by default you start dating right away, a lot of times that just starts that like path of just like, okay, here, I'm ready to get married. I'm dating for marriage. And then when it doesn't happen, or when things, setbacks or failures, quote unquote, or heartbreaks along the way, it can be really, really painful. So this is me. I think I was 23 or 24, around that area. I was dating since I was 19. So just picture, this is my 4th or 5th year dating fruitlessly, let's just say, because so far nothing. I've been through other heartbreaks in the past. Like, this was not my first rodeo, so to speak. But in this specific case, I was finally dating someone who actually, a friend of mine set me up with, and it was going really well, surprisingly. Like, this was the first like shidduch date, I guess. Like, it's not really a matchmaker, right? It's my friend who set us up, but we were dating, and date after date, things were going well. And it was interesting because looking back, I'm like, okay, certain things were missing that I feel like, thank God it didn't happen. And I'm married to my husband and have my 2 beautiful children, and I love my life. But I think that even looking back, there are certain things that were missing that I was kind of bypassing and saying, it's okay, like, it's fine. As long as I get most of what I want, it's fine, right? So like, and really looking back, I realized that I was going to settle. I could have settled. Honestly, probably if not for him, I could have settled. So thank you. So yeah, we dated, first date, second date, third date. He lived a few hour drive from me. So we kind of went back and forth, but honestly, he did most of it. I give him the credit. That's what I'm saying. A lot of good was there. He drove sometimes all the way. It was like a 3-hour drive to me. We went on a date during the day, and then he drove back. So literally he drove at least 6 hours, like every single time, or he drove all the way to pick me up and to then another 3 hours back. So 6 hours pretty much straight in the car, so that we can date, you know, where he lived. And I would stay at like a friend who I knew there. I had a cousin there. Like, I had people to stay at. And we would date there. So I did that one time, I remember, for like a Shabbos. And when I got there, I was staying at my friend, and like he brought over this like whole basket of like treats and things I liked, and like cute things and like flowers. I don't know. It was like, he did a lot of things right. It was going well. It was like it was an interesting situation for me because, like I said, like there were a lot of like one and done dates for me. There was a lot of like, I met a couple of guys naturally that I dated for a while, and they ended like poorly. Like, I haven't been through any real positive dating situation until this point. And so in my mind, this is really like happening. Like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Like, he's really nice. I kind of like, you know, kind of attracted to him. Kind of looking back, like I said, that was probably one of the things also that was missing. I was just so happy to find like a good guy, and to find a good guy on paper, that even though I wasn't like repulsed, but I was just like not so thrilled in that department. But again, this is in hindsight. So, hey, quick interruption to let you know I'm creating a brand new self-guided course for religious single women dating for marriage and struggling with finding the balance of chemistry and compatibility in their dating lives. If you find yourself frustrated that you only seem to find chemistry in guys who are not marriage material, or compatibility with guys who are good on paper but there's literally no spark, I'm telling you, you can find both, and you deserve both. We just need to fix the attraction misalignment so you can date men who have the values you need and the chemistry for a healthy, happy relationship. My Aligned Attraction course will be available soon. Jump on the waitlist to get first access and special pricing. The link is in the description or show notes below. Now back to the episode. In the moment, I was happy. Everything was going well. He had met my parents already. I had went there to meet his parents. We had brunch. It was really cute. Everything was going really well. I think this was like a month or two. No, maybe, I don't know. It was quite a few weeks of dating. I can't remember exactly how many dates, 10, 12, 15. I don't know. We were dating for marriage intentionally in the short time frame that, you know, in the shidduch system you usually do. But it was getting closer. It was getting warmer, you know? So again, it was after we already met each other's parents and everything. And then so everything was kind of going well. And I think we started talking about like engagement, when we're going to have our engagement party. Like, I had a friend at the time who was, I can't remember if she was in Israel and she was coming back, or she was going to leave to Israel to go for like a while. And so we were trying to like make sure that all of our close friends and family are actually going to be there on the day that we plan to get engaged and have the engagement party and everything. So we were really talking seriously about it, to the point that like we had already gotten to the point that we said we weren't going through the shotgun really anymore, which was my friend. But I think the plan was he was going to be in touch with my mother, like if he was ready to propose. And so like someone could have a little bit of a forewarning. I said, like, I'm happy to be surprised, but, like, I also still kind of want to know, like, we're in the ballpark, right? So officially, like, we were in the ballpark. And my mother was pretty much waiting for that phone call. And we were continuing to date and talk and, like, hang out. And again, he came. I knew this was the fateful day that it happened, that he came to Lakewood to pick me up. And I remember having a really bad feeling, and I went out with a friend of mine, and we went to this lake. We were laying on the dock, and we were just, like, talking. And there was a part of me that was like, the last conversation I had with him made me feel really uneasy. And I have a feeling like this is all going to go downhill, like, not in a good way. It's so funny. People use the phrase, it's going to go downhill, which means in a positive way, but no. It was all going to, like, fall apart from here. I had this feeling. And this friend of mine, actually, I'm still friends with till this day, and I love her so much, and I feel so grateful because she had just gotten married. And you know how it is when your friends are getting married and you're not married, and you feel like they're kind of leaving you behind. And, like, this friend, she was literally, like, I think married for like 2 weeks. She took time, had her husband drop her off. We met up. We went to the lake. We talked and talked, and just, like, she was just really there for me. We weighed through every option. I was like, I have a really bad feeling this is not going to end well, but you know what? You never know. Either he could propose to me today, or he could dump me today. Like, I knew something was coming because the last conversation we had, he just basically brought up something about, like, questioning things, or, like, wondering if this was really right, or and he spoke to his rabbi, and, like, I don't know, just something was a little bit off. But at the same time, I was thinking, like, maybe this is just the cold feet before, like, he actually proposes, right? Like, it's everything has gone so well. I had already went shopping with my mother for my engagement party dress, for my vert dress. Like, I literally had it at the seamstress. She was shortening it and poofing it out. I wanted a certain style, like a little bit vintage. And so it was a really cool dress. It's funny that it's actually in now, but then I was, like, a little bit, like, making my own trend, but, like, it's a little bit of, I still have this dress. It's like a corset style, and then it, like, poofs out, and I wanted it extra poofy and, like, high heels, and, like, wanted to wear, like, a flower crown or something, like boho. Anyway, I had all these plans. My dress was at the seamstress. My mother was waiting for the call. He came to pick me up. He knocked on the door on my parents' house. Like, he literally knocked on the door. So this is what I'm saying. It's going to make me emotional because it was just so intense. I opened the door, and his face, I was just like, something is really wrong. Like, this is really wrong. Because even though I was talking with my friend earlier that day about the options and about how I feel a little bit concerned, most of me still thought everything was on track and that we were all good. And just seeing his face was very scary to me. I was like, oh gosh, what is wrong? Like, what's up here? We then go in the car. He seems very on edge, very quiet. I'm like, I hope he's not proposing, because this is not fun. He's like, is it okay if we go to a Starbucks, like, locally, even if people see us? And I was like, I hope, like, it's fine, you know, because at that point we were already, again, I already thought, like, we were going to get engaged. So I wasn't, like, too concerned with being seen, like, out in public, you know, with him, and for people to, like, assume anything, because I was also assuming things. So we went to a Starbucks that literally I went to with friends to, like, study for college, and, like, people that I know were there. I don't remember specifically going there and seeing, like, friends right away. So I think it was still kind of private, but, like, we went to find a table. We sat down, we ordered our drinks, and he just, the whole time his face was, like, giving him away. But he basically just said, to make a long story short, because I feel like I have still so much to say about what I learned about this, but I'm getting too wrapped up in the story. He basically said, okay, so I'll just cut to the chase, because, you know, I don't want to drag things out or make things harder than it has to be. But I thought about it long and hard, and I made the decision that I'm not ready for this. You're an amazing girl. Thank you very much. I heard this so much. It was so annoying. You're an amazing girl, and anyone would be lucky to be with you, and there's nothing that you did wrong. I am just not ready for this. I realized I'm not ready for marriage. I realized I'm not going to be able to be the kind of man that you need me to be. It's not fair to you, blah, 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 which it's funny because in hindsight, I I believe him. Like that was the truth for him. And I wouldn't want someone who couldn't be what I needed them to be. But in the moment, it was like, are you kidding me? Just rise to the occasion. Like, what are you just, are you seriously just dumping me right now? Like, it was so, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was just like staring. Are you serious? And he just wanted to make it quick because he was like, I just can't like deal with this. Like, let's not make a scene. Meanwhile, I just can't even help it. Tears are like just, falling down my cheeks. And I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? And he was like, I'm sorry. I just can't. Like, I just can't. And I was like, what? Like, what? I was so shocked. I don't even know exactly what I said or how I responded, but I know that I was crying and I know that I was embarrassed because I was just like, why are you taking me here in public to a Starbucks that I usually go to with my friends while I'm sitting here in public using a Starbucks napkin to wipe my like mascara off my face, like literally black napkins. And I was just like, this is insanity. This can't be happening. It was happening. That's just what was happening. We went back in the car after that, and then he dropped me off at home, and I actually had a sweater of his. So I was like, wait, I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't have a piece of, like, if we're saying goodbye now, like, we're saying goodbye. I ran back into my house, got the sweater, gave it to him. And then I think I pretty much said, I love you or something like that, something crazy, because looking back, listen, I have self-compassion for myself, but now I'm like, what are you doing? But I pretty much said, I love you, or I guess we'll never know what could have happened, or something along the lines of love, because I felt so angry. And so I just wanted to like hurt him back, like to show him like you're missing out on something, which he obviously already knew. But at the moment, I just wanted it to cut deep, and I wanted to say, like, you are really doing something stupid here. Like, you're losing out. And gave him the sweater, shut the door, and he drove away, and I just walked back into my house, and I was, like, in such a confused state. I remember I came inside, I walked up the steps, and the first room that I went to was my younger sister, who at the time wasn't married. Then she got married pretty soon after, maybe like a year after, before me. But my younger sister, I walked up the stairs, I knocked on her door, and she opened the door, and I just like fell to the floor. Just fell flat to the floor in the doorway, like crying. And she was like, what happened? What happened? And then my mother heard some commotion. So she comes and I'm literally on the floor sobbing and saying like, it's over. And they were just so nice and so sweet and literally helped me stand up. And I talked through my sobs, explaining what happened, and said like, that's it. That's it. It's over. And it was crazy. It was very sad. But that's pretty much the story of how I almost got engaged, but then got dumped. And in that moment, I was so devastated. But what I chose to do in that moment, I think, was the turning point for me going forward. Because what I chose to do, I was studying the book, learning again, the book Derech Hashem. It's one of my favorite Sfarim books that, like, you know, about Judaism, about religion, about connecting to God. Like, I feel so inspired by that book. It's not even a book. It's really like a holy book. It's a sefer. And I was doing these Derech Hashem groups. So I would have women come to my house every Tuesday night, and we would learn from that book. And you have to be really deep and smart and willing to like stay through the nitty gritty to learn that, because they're not easy concepts, and they're not like... it's not just like a fun, like it was fun to get together, but like there was a pitcher of water, there was no food, there was no snacks, there was no fun, anything. We just sat around my dining room table in my house learning every Tuesday night. People who just really, really wanted that spirituality and that closeness. And a lot of my friends who I made from seminary who were also back in Lakewood. And seminary, I mean Neve, by the way. I went to seminary multiple times, but this was when I went to Neve. It was Tuesday that day, of course, and I decided I am not going to cancel tonight's class get-together. I am still going to do it, and this was around like 6-7 p.m., and the class or the group was called for 8. So I was upstairs again, crying on the floor. I got up, and they were talking me through it, and we talked about it, and they were like, do you want to like tell your friends, like message the group, like it's not happening? And I was like, no, it's happening. If anything's going to get me through this, it's going to be my faith. It's going to be my emunah. Like, there is no way. This is the last thing I'm going to cancel. And they were like, you're sure? You sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. And I just went straight into the bathroom from the hallway, washed my face. I remember I remember every move. Washed my face, looked in the mirror, and was like, I can do this. I'm going to do this. Went downstairs. I waited for my friends to come. Everyone came in. I smiled. I didn't say anything. And I remember sitting at the head of the table giving this class. Again, it was not like a real official class. It was me just like learning with everyone and kind of leading the learning. And my sister was sitting at the other end of the table, like the other head. And there was like 5 people on each side or 4 people on each side. And we were learning. And I kept getting emotional because there was so much in there about like strengthening your faith and believing everything happens for a reason, and just like using Hashem, using God to be like the reason you are going to stay through, like the reason you're going to be okay. Every time I looked up and was getting a little bit emotional, my sister like nodded and smiled to me like, you could do this. And I love her for that so much. And it was just a hard night, but a great night. I remember that being the thing, like, if this is the thing that's going to carry me through. And I then, in the next few weeks, wrote a song called I Still Have You. You can look it up. I'll link it in the description, actually. It was the same idea. It was the connection to Hashem, saying, I still have you, regardless of what happens, regardless of if I'm being hurt over and over, if I'm not sure, like, why isn't this happening? Why do I keep having to go through these things? Like, I'm just going to trust you that you're here for me and you know what's happening and you're guiding me. And this is the thing. If I don't have anything else, I have you. And life, I realized in that moment, I can't make my life about a milestone or about even something as beautiful and, meaningful as getting married and having a family. Like, I can't make that my mission in life if I don't have control over it. Only he does, right? So it's like, I can do my best, but I can't ultimately decide what I'm going to experience. And so I realized in that moment that I can no longer pedestal marriage and family and crossing a certain milestone or achieving a goal to check off a box. This is why I'm so into this phrase. Marriage is not just a box you check off. It's your life. It's the life you're going to live, but you only get it as a gift, right? We are not promised anything. And if I'm going to live life as if I'm promised that, and I'm not going to be willing to become the person that I want to become unless I have this, it's like when I get married, I'll do the XYZ, I'll accomplish that, or I'll go for that career, or I'll start that organization, or when I get married or when I have kids, when I feel like I'm purposeful, or when I'm going to feel purposeful right now. My soul is here right now. It has to use all of the experiences that God gives me right now to fulfill its purpose right now. If I don't have certain circumstances, it means that I wasn't meant to have those circumstances in order to fulfill my mission, at least for right now. And so I'm going to still hope for it. I'm going to want it. I'm going to ask for it. I'm going to pray for it. I'm going to believe that that's my destiny. But until then, or if and when that happens, right? Until that time, I am just going to continue to use the circumstances that I do have to become the person that I want to be, and to make sure I'm in the place to receive the love that I deserve if and when it comes to me, and not bank on that happening for me to feel like I can live my best life and for me to feel like I could become who I want to become. So I didn't even look at my notes. Let me just check if I'm missing anything. But yeah, I was just going with it. The lessons that I took away, I wrote down, is emunah, for sure, faith. And I also started having this mentality. I started getting into law of attraction around this time and like really feeling into those concepts. And I remember someone saying, this or something better, this or something better. And I was thinking to myself, like, this is a mentality I need to adopt, because if I believe that I'm meant for something, then I'm going to keep believing in it. I'm going to keep dreaming for it. But I'm going to believe that it was this or something better. I'm not going to believe, because he dumped me and because this didn't work out, now I'm really going to be doomed. Now I'm really going to get someone who's even way worse than this. I can't believe this happened. It's like, no, this or something better. So if I didn't have this, something better must be coming, because I'm only available for this or something better. And that was just a really good mental shift for me. And also just the whole concept of like not allowing someone to dictate my worthiness, because again, looking back, I realized there wasn't enough chemistry for a marriage that I believe should be there. There wasn't enough feeling like I am truly like worth the things that I desire. And there was certain areas like the chemistry where I was kind of like cutting off a little bit and being like, it's okay. It's not really there. He has certain things I don't like. It's fine. Right. And there was no like major red flags. Again, I still think he's a great person. He was doing the best he could. But it's just like, for me, I think that I was relying too much on allowing someone else to dictate my worthiness, right? If he was like, I'm sorry, I can't do this, I can't be with you, automatically my mind would go to, you see, I'm not worth it enough for someone to do that, for him to say yes. And looking back, it's like so silly because I'm like, that's obviously so not the case. It was kind of the opposite. But it's sad that so many of us women are going to the place automatically of like, I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think I'm worthy. I don't think I really deserve to get everything I want, because if he's going to say no, that means like I'm not going to get it. And then And we really just use our experiences to confirm our own unworthiness. And so in that moment, I was like, I am not going to allow someone else to dictate my worth. I know what I'm worth. I know who I am. I'm going to work on becoming my best self, regardless of my circumstances, and allow my worth to be the bedrock, to be the foundation. There is no one else can tell me whether I'm worthy or not. It's just a matter of finding someone who matches the level that I'm at and can be the person. It has the ability, right? Has the capacity to be who I need them to be. And just the settling the little corners that I was cutting, realizing that like the chemistry, the compatibility, there were certain aspects of it that weren't fully there. And there's so many things in my dating life that inspired this, but I am creating a course right now actually on the topics of chemistry and compatibility and worthiness and all of the stuff that we're talking about here. And I'm so excited because I know this is going to change people's lives. Definitely check the description below. You can jump on the wait list for free. And when the course is available, you're going to be the first to know, get a discount, all of that. But like, these are just such important topics to develop your worthiness, to understand what it means to have healthy chemistry, to have healthy compatibility, to not allow your lack of worthiness to dictate your decisions. Like these are life-changing mindset shifts and tools to really, really change the way that women date for the better. And yeah, of course, this is a huge part of why I started coaching. Actually, originally when I started coaching, I was in the like life coaching realm. I specialized in relationships, but I was still doing a lot of life coaching. Kind of navigated to relationships pretty quickly because that's what people were coming to me for, and I realized that was my strength. And then created the Marriage Magnet Method program, which is still running today. It's been like a year and a half. And it goes by cohort. We're actually starting a new cohort in November of 2025. So I don't know when you're listening to this, but regardless, if the doors are open, definitely book a call right away to apply. If the doors are closed right now, you can get on the wait list. You can find out about it. You can book a call with me and we can like talk about for the upcoming cohort. The main reason that I created this program, the Marriage Magnet Method program, is to help women feel empowered, to feel like they can navigate their dating journeys with support, with skills, with tools, with worthiness, with just the whole package of like becoming and attracting the love that you deserve. Because when you're dating, it's really a challenging and vulnerable time. And it's such a shame when women are just dating and the experiences start to make them feel jaded. Their experiences, especially if they have had a broken engagement, start to dictate their worthiness and they feel too ashamed to talk about the things that they've been through. And there's so many sneaky ways of self-sabotage that happen. I actually have a client right now who she would have said no and been done with this guy. And now they're dating like for a little while, and it might be going in seems like it's going in a good direction. I don't want to say anything yet. But yeah, like she had so many sneaky ways of self-sabotage, and I kept calling her out on it to the point that she actually was like, wait, are you really on my team anymore? Because it seems like you keep telling me like, wait, but that's not the way to think about it. And I was like, listen, I'm on your team forever. It's because I'm on your team and it's because I have your back that I'm going to be this objective rock that's going to call out when I see how your sneaky ways of self-sabotage are affecting you, because I would never want you to throw away the right guy for you because of your self-sabotage. So there's so many ways it can come. It can come with someone else rejecting you and you feeling unworthy and you feeling the effects of that, or it could be you pushing love away in so many different forms because you have your own things that are not yet healed, are not called out by someone who cares about you and can see the objective picture of everything. And so, yeah, if this is sounding interesting to you, if this is sounding like, oh my gosh, yes, I really need the support in my dating life, definitely check out the Marriage Magnet Method program in the description below. I would love to get on a call with you, hear your unique story, your goals, your journey so far, and see if we would be a good fit to work together. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this story. I hope that this helped you gain insight into one of the things that impacted my dating journey and really shaped the person that I became. Truly, truly did. And I hope that it gave you that inspiration and that encouragement to own your stories, to feel proud of what's happened to you, what the decisions you've made, everything that has allowed you to come to get to where you needed to go, and use that as fuel, use that as just like a springboard for the path forward that you're going to take to find the happy, healthy, loving relationship in the marriage and family that you want. It's coming. You deserve it. Keep believing in it. And also, in the meantime, don't forget to just become the person that you want to become along the way, regardless of your circumstances. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in to the Marriage Magnet Podcast. I'm so glad you're here, and make sure you're subscribed on YouTube and following on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. I would love to know what you're enjoying most about this show or which topic you'd like to see covered next. So please leave me a comment or DM me on Instagram at Nahama Phillips. If you found value in this conversation, please leave this show a review and share it with a friend who can benefit. This way we can reach more people and empower more women with these important messages, because you deserve the best quality relationship with yourself and others. I'll see you in the next episode.